The Happy, Joy, Ren and Stimpy campaign. It's on, folks. Check this out.
Oh my goodness. Here, representing people from all over the country.
Hi, everyone.
Can you feel? Can you feel? Can you feel it? Can you feel the joy rising in here?
I can, and
I can feel the joy. Stimson J. Cat. Thank you, Ren Hork. Let's do a high five. Happy, joy. Remember the dance? Happy, joy. Happy, joy. Happy, joy. The only difference is Ren and Stimpy were actually funny. They were even funnier if you were on hallucinogenic compounds. Not that I would know anything about that. This isn't funny. Can you feel the joy of what? An open border? Of rapes and murders, of invasions going on in small towns across America, of a war breaking out in the Middle East, of a war in Russia and the Ukraine border? The inflation crisis, a struggling economy, unemployment numbers being revised even worse every month. This is the joy? Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, if we lose this campaign, this is going to be a far different show. It is time for you right now to go out and do what? Folks in the chat, your turn. Yes, it is time to execute. Now, the election's 46 days away. No, it is not. Voting has already started, I believe, in 3 states. It has, yes. Voting's happening right now. So if you're saying, oh, I did my job, I went out and voted, you, my friend, are incorrect. That is not your job. Your job is to vote and bring at least 10 people with you. If you're not executing here, you're going to lose, period. All right, I'm going to get to this Secret Service story. I got a loaded Friday show for you today. Call your friends. Tell them to jump on in here because I'm going to tell you something. I've been working angles on this all night. I can't get confirmation on it, but this is a banger. And I mean, this sounds like a really big deal. However, I want to talk about something first. I don't usually talk about these celebrities who get into trouble and stuff because, folks, I genuinely, candidly don't really give a shit about celebrities. However, when celebrities are accused of really nasty stuff, everyone's innocent till proven guilty, period. I actually believe in due process, unlike these other bags on the left. However, these are very serious accusations against Sean Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy. We will not be referring to him as that anymore. His name is Sean Combs. I don't call people P. Diddy. I don't call people the God or anything else. I'm really sorry. I'll call you by your damn name, okay? So Sean Combs is accused of some really serious stuff. Freak-offs involving, I hope there are no kids listening, thousands of bottles of, let's just say, lubricants. And I'm not talking about synthetic Castrol motor oil for your car, although maybe that was a part of it too. Who knows? These freak-offs were like sex parties and stuff. Sean Combs is accused of trafficking people. I just want to give you a bit of an insider take on this. I'm going to tell you something, and I need you to spread the word on this because I've seen both the NYPD and the Secret Service side because I worked with both of them as a cop and as an agent. He's being charged by the feds in New York. Now, forgetting for a moment anything involving the FBI and anyone involved with MAGA politics, assume the case is bullshit. However, other cases that aren't politically tinged, I'm just telling you right now, when the feds charge you, unlike when the locals charge you, ladies and gentlemen, you are effed big time. Triple barrel. Why? Here's the difference. If you're getting charged by the feds after a 6-month investigation, you are screwed. With the NYPD, every case is worked backwards. So in other words, I'm out on the street as a cop and some guy runs to the corner and goes, that guy just tried to kill me. And you see a guy running down the street with a knife. You don't know what happened. The guy running down the street with a knife could have been defending himself against the guy who called you to cops because he tried to shoot him. You have no idea. But because you see the guy charging down the street with a knife, you pull out your gun, put the knife down, put the handcuffs on, and you arrest him. What happens then? The answer is an investigation happens. The things happen in reverse. Everybody follow me? Yes or no in the chat, because you won't understand why Sean Combs is in a lot of trouble. You see the crime, then you do the investigation. That's the overwhelming majority of arrests at the local and even the state level, right? With the feds, it's totally different. With the feds, someone comes into the office, the FBI, and says, hey man, this guy Sean Combs is involved with freak-offs with baby oil and stuff. You know what I mean? Then the investigation starts. The feds hate to lose in court. The AUSA's office, the Assistant United States Attorney in the United States Attorney's Office, they absolutely hate to lose in court. Their conviction rate, folks, with pleas and everything else is seriously like 99.9%. They almost never lose because they never bring a case to trial or to indictment unless the investigation they've been conducting before they arrest them is ironclad. You guys tracking me? So what I'm getting at is Sean Combs is screwed. There is zero chance they arrested him if they didn't feel they had the PC and possibly the beyond the reasonable doubt level to go and convict this guy in court. What does that mean? That means this guy's sitting in one of the worst detention dumps. I've seen it many times in the entire country. The detention center he's sitting there in New York City is horrendous. This is a billionaire who's used to getting up in the morning, someone rubbing his back, maybe a little too much, who the hell knows, taking his protein shakes. Gosh, everything's like double on top with this dude, right? But that's what he's used to. He's eating a loaf right now. Look it up. He's eating a loaf probably in this, and he's probably sick every single day. I have zero doubt this guy's about to flip. So I'm just telling you, if you were at one of these freak-offs and you were engaged in this alleged activity, then you damn well better be getting a good attorney because there is zero chance in my mind that this guy doesn't flip. His lawyer's telling him right now, we're going to set up a proffer, a king for a day deal, and you are going to rat out everyone or you're going to be eating a loaf and doing 20 years in jail. You remember I said that. When the feds come get you, and it's not a political case, because then it's probably bullshit. When they come get you on a case like this, you're effed. Sorry. All right, getting back to the other stuff. So the other day I told you about, without giving away intricate Secret Service details and knowledge about security, which obviously I would never do, I told you that it's ridiculous that the Secret Service did not sweep the golf course first before Donald Trump went to the golf course in West Palm Beach. Why you would not sweep a site your protectee is going to be at for bad guys, bombs, explosives, and environmental disasters like a sinkhole on the 8th hole or whatever is just security 101. The way the Secret Service works and anyone else works, and this is not giving up any secrets, folks, everybody knows this, is you post an area first. Hey, send your guys to the golf course. You then send a team in to sweep it for tactical threats, which this guy was, possible medical emergencies. Hey, it's really hot out here, guys. We may want to bring some electrolytes. Chem bio threats. You get your chem bio detection equipment. Did somebody just plant some kind of radiation device? IEDs, you sweep it for bombs. Airborne threats, you set up a big air picture. Fire, geologic stuff. Is there a sinkhole? This is the kind of stuff you do. I used to call it TMCIAF, Tactical Medical Chem Bio IED Airborne Fire. It's what I live by. One of my friends in the service called it the Big Six. You post it, you sweep it, and then you hold it. The Secret Service didn't post it, they didn't sweep it, and they sure as shit didn't hold it. A bunch of us are scratching our heads. I had a friend of mine, NYPD detective, friend of mine, lifelong friend, not just like I knew him a long time. This guy worked in TERU, their technical assistance research unit that puts up cameras. He's like, how the hell did they not have cameras on the fence line in this place? I know, because they didn't want to. Here's Josh Hawley on Jesse Waters, and Jesse Waters has been doing an amazing job. Jesse's a friend, and he's not letting this case go at all. They got specials going on about it, Fox Nation. Waters is, I don't know if it's a personal interest he's taking in it, but Jesse Waters is breaking news almost every night. He had Josh Hawley on Republican senator from Missouri. Here's Hawley confirming what I told you when this happened on Monday. There was no sweep at all. Why not? Producer Jim, why didn't they sweep it? That's correct. Because they didn't want to. Watch Josh Hawley confirming what I told you.
Well, what we've heard, Jesse, from new whistleblowers who've come forward about this second assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life. And here's what they have told us. That golf course that the president was playing, Secret Service have guarded that course many, many times. And what the whistleblower says is protocol calls for Secret Service to station agents along the places in the course that are known vulnerabilities. I want to emphasize the service has guarded this course many times. They know where there are vulnerabilities. They normally station agents there ahead of Trump's appearance on the course, but they apparently did not do that this last weekend. And the whistleblowers tell me that's strange. That's out of protocol. It's not even clear Secret Service swept the perimeter before Trump took to the course. Also a breach of protocol. And they want to know why, and so do I. I think the Secret Service deserves to give us answers.
Can I read something to you from another whistleblower friend of mine? I got to be careful. You can't see this thing on, right, guys? You leave it there, no. Okay, I'm gonna. Forgive me for turning my head. I'll get close to the mic, but obviously, I want to keep this Secret Service agent's name confidential. This is from an actual agent talking about the course and exactly what I just told you. Why the hell they didn't post and sweep the course in advance is, again, an example of pure managerial, absolute incompetence, period. Here's a quote. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I've worked that course several times with Donald J. Trump, and I know exactly where the subject was hiding. We see the press there all the time. Makes me wonder why there was no press there this time. Goes on. Perhaps the mole is in the press pool. They're well aware of Trump's movements and schedule as well. That doesn't answer the question of why it wasn't posted, though. I'm just reading to you what a very experienced agent has passed on to me. They knew about that vulnerability, and so did the press. And there was nobody there except for one person, an alleged assassin with a high-powered rifle. You tell me again if my Monday show was crazy. There is a mole somewhere. Folks, is it in DHS? Is it in the Secret Service? Was somebody talking out loud in a restaurant in the press corps and this guy heard him? There is a mole somewhere. There is no way that guy just randomly picked that spot at that time without some insider information. Occam's razor dictates that that is an absolute bullshit theory, that this was just completely random. And if you believe that, I'm really sorry, you're stupid. I can't help you. It doesn't make any sense. The story doesn't make sense. How did the guy in Butler, Pennsylvania know that one roof line to go there, that wouldn't be manned? Oh, he can just look up there. Well, how do we know he didn't know someone was going to get up there afterwards or wasn't going to post down there to make sure no one could get up on the air conditioning unit? He seemed to have a lot of pre-advanced operational surveillance knowledge. Are we crazy asking these questions, or is everybody else crazy for not? This is your home for truth on this show. Folks, there's only one way to do this. Post it, sweep it, and then hold it. There is no other way. You don't do it backwards. Hold it, sweep it, post it. It's not the way this works. And by the way, this is not a money issue. Before I get to the Fox video of how close this guy was and Matt Gaetz on really a shocking statement, I want to play for you Senator Ron Johnson, who's been looking into DHS and Secret Service for a really, really long time, years now, probably close to a decade. Here's Senator Ron Johnson saying again what I told you yesterday. It's not a money issue, folks. Their budget is more than double than in real dollars, inflation-adjusted dollars, than when I got on the job in 1999. They have enough money, and they have nearly double the manpower. They just can't do the job. Take a look.
You in the camp of frustration, or are you in the camp of he has what he needs?
Oh, no, I'm definitely in the camp of frustration. Let me just quick address the funding. Over the last 10 years, the Secret Service budget has gone up 65%. By $2 billion up to $3.3 billion. Personnel is up 32%, from 6,200 personnel to an 8,300 person head count. So they have plenty of people. They're also, by the way, part of a department that has a $190 billion budget, 240,000 employees who they will detail to the Secret Service in some of these surge situations. So again, it's not resources, it's management. And no, we are being stonewalled. This isn't my first rodeo. I've dealt with these people. This is exactly how they do not respond to congressional oversight. They're not responding.
Thank you, Ron Johnson. We don't even mention this. The Department of Homeland Security has a $190 billion budget. What the hell are you doing with that money? Selling reruns of Teletubbies or something? What are you doing? What are you doing with $190 billion that you can't provide a single post stander for a known vulnerability at a golf course the press has taken pictures of hundreds of times? Am I missing something? I'll take a quick break and I'm going to show you this video from Fox. This video is taken from this vulnerability point on the golf course where this alleged assassin secreted himself and nobody noticed. Wait till you see how close this guy would have been within minutes if Donald Trump just would have gotten a golf course. And you tell me the Secret Service can hack it now with this leadership while I laugh in your face. You having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Listen, I've been there. It's not just about feeling tired the next day. Poor sleep takes a really nasty toll on your body. There's hope on the horizon, though. It comes in the form of Beam's Dream Powder. It's been a game changer for me. See, when we're sleeping well, we're sharper, more focused. You're ready to tackle the week. And today, my listeners get a special discount on Beam's Dream Powder. It's their science-backed hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Better sleep has never tasted better. Other sleep aids can cause next-day grogginess, but Dream contains a powerful, all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. You want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder? Beam is now offering Bongino listeners an exclusive discount. Get up to 45% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Bongino and use code Bongino at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Bongino and use code Bongino for up to 45% off. Get yourself a good night's sleep. Check out Beam's Dream Powder. All right, I want to show you this video. This is shocking. Not even, the Gates video is coming up next. I'm sorry, I hate teases, I get it. But the story will make more sense if we play Gates' comments last. Here is how close this guy got. I'm going to play this Fox clip, and I want you to keep in mind, the Secret Service has known about a viable threat from the terror state of Iran towards Donald Trump for close to 4 years now. They have known about the long-range threat. In other words, that the Iranians wanted to use a sniper-based attack. They thought the middle perimeter would be too hard to access. They've known about that for probably a year, at a minimum, probably 6 months before these attacks. They've known about this. They've known about the long-range threat. What did they do about it? The answer is nothing, as evidenced by the last two attacks, an alleged attack on President Trump, or a potential attack. Watch the video, how close this guy got. Check this out.
Right now is brand new video from a source called Mega, M-E-G-A, in West Palm Beach, Florida. This is the area where that gunman hung out and hid out for 12 hours. And you can see the brush that hides you a little bit from viewing the street behind you. But that's the golf course that you're looking at. 5th and 6th hole where he was lying in wait for Donald Trump on Sunday. A fascinating look here. We've seen some paparazzi in past years. See some maintenance workers come by. By the way, the course is closed. A lot of these courses in Florida will close for the summer because it's too hot. You can't grow the grass and the course gets all beat up. Trump's course is no different. But he, apparently, according to people that I've spoken to, went to the club that day. And I don't believe it was on his schedule. And I believe it was unannounced.
Folks, given that we're a largely conservative audience here, and I understand that most of you probably have experience with firearms. You're hunters, law enforcement, military, self-protection, and you're just men and women who have balls and want to protect yourselves. You know about firearms. Even if you don't, okay? Even if you have zero experience with firearms, you're always welcome on my show. I encourage you to train yourself and to get one and defend yourself. Can you all vouch for me in the chat? I always go to the hunters. Nobody knows more about firearms than spec ops guys and hunters. No one. Zero. That's their livelihood, okay? To the hunters out there, you just saw that on video. Talk amongst yourselves in the chat. I'm going to be watching. You don't even need a scope for that shot. That's an easy, with a rifle, iron sight shot. That may not be a bad shot with a handgun with iron sights. You don't even need glass on top. That isn't right. If hunters, am I crazy? Hunter here. Yes. Yeah. Easy shot. Wait. Hold on. Yeah. 4DORR in the chat. I'm an avid hunter, Dan. Easy shot. Yes. LOL. Don't need a scope. This guy says, Robert Twix says, that's a hip shot. Thank you. I don't even, listen, I was in the Secret Service, NYPD, a lot of experience. I go to the hunters. The hunters are badasses. These guys are used to hitting shit 500 yards, 1,000 yards, shooting a deer in the freaking chops. They know exactly what they're doing. And they got to eat the thing later. So most of them don't want a scatter shot all over the place. Not like they're out there with double-aught buck. The hunters are telling you that's a chip shot, man. You know what? That may not even be iron sights. That may be like line of vision, line of sight. I think you just look. Hit him with a rock. He's going all Cain and Abel, like hit him with a rock, Michael said. You can throw something. Are you shitting me? You didn't have that covered? Are you serious? You had a guy with a pink shirt on? Pink. Is that ever camouflage in a forest? No. What do you got? A bunch of like strawberry shortcake characters running around in the forest? You go, do you understand how bad of a security lapse this is? This is almost worse than Butler, because with Butler, he already got shot in the head and the man got murdered. Butler was bad enough. This one, I'm telling you, is even worse. You want to throw some coals in this fire? Matt Gaetz appears on, was he with Jack Posobiec? He was with Jack Posobiec. Matt Gaetz, Florida congressman, who I've been speaking to and spoke to on that panel, is very concerned about this. Obviously, President Trump's life. Gaetz went on Posobiec's show yesterday and just dropped a nuclear bomb on this whole thing. I hadn't heard this, but I have absolutely no reason to believe he's not telling the truth. Check this out.
I'll break a little news for you. I had a senior official from the Department of Homeland Security in my office before the second assassination attempt saying that what he has assessed is that there are 5 known assassination teams in the United States, 3 inspired by other governments, 2 that are here that are known domestic assassination teams. And with that, this individual was coming to me concerned that the force protection around President Trump, even prior to that second assassination attempt, was not sufficient for what it needed to be.
What? There are 5 assassination teams, 3 foreign, 2 domestic in the United States, and the United States Secret Service still has not implemented a proper security bubble around President Trump? Now, I can already get in advance to some of your questions in the chat. Well, Dan, if they know there's 5 hit teams out there, why aren't they doing anything about it? Well, now I'm going to give you some inside baseball. And I want to be clear here. I am speaking in generalities. When I have a source, I have one. I just read one to you. When I don't have a source, I don't pretend I don't have a source, okay? I don't pretend. That's bullshit stuff. Hacks do that. I'm speaking in generalities. I've seen this before. When you're doing protective intelligence, what I did for 3 years with the Secret Service, a lot of times you get information, but it's not attached to any specific individual. So someone will say, hey, we intercepted comms between these 2 people, whatever. Joey and Bobby, who doesn't matter. Joey and Bobby. Joey and Bobby were talking about whatever, Operation Gildafish. What the hell is Operation Gildafish? Well, they've heard him reference Gildafish in reference to assassination in the past. And then they said that Gildafish is working in and near the ceiling fan. The ceiling fan, everything's in code all the time. You get what I'm saying? Ceiling fan means this, Gildafish means that. like smoking the pipe means something different. Opened up with the Sean Combs case. It could be a lot of things. You get the point? Intelligence is almost never. And confirm for me. Come on, folks in the chat. Some of you are intel people. You know what I'm talking about. Operators, serious operators, terrorists, assassins, people who are going to kill people, almost never, unless they're really, it happens, but almost never get on the phone and go, hey, it's Joe. We're going to go do X to Donald Trump on this date and tell John Q. Public, who lives at so-and-so. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. That's why they probably don't know where these teams are. But I have absolutely zero reason to believe that Matt Gaetz is in any way being hyperbolic. These hit teams, I believe them, are there right now. And the Secret Service, as far as we know, based on evidence, has amazingly still not figured out how to secure Donald J. Trump's life. Folks, this isn't the end of this story. I wish it was. By the way, Axios is victim blaming Donald Trump again. I want to show you how these disgusting media people work and why they are absolutely not worth a second of your time. These people are to be treated like the communist adversaries they are. Never treat them like serious people. They crave that. They are not. I'm going to show you this Axios thing, and I want to make a point. I sent out a tweet yesterday in One Nuclear that institutions are collapsing everywhere. Folks, you can chalk up another one, too. Did you hear the whistleblower from CBP up on the Hill yesterday? Don't go anywhere. The DARPA, I know. It's one poor article about DARPA. Just for you, I'll throw it in at the end. That's an I know. This is one of those articles I keep bringing up because it's good, too. Hey, the number one question I get from listeners, how can I get in the conservative fight in the parallel economy? Well, it's critical to know where your dollars are going. I know you've heard about this credit card company, right? Coin. A lot of these credit card companies funnel all their money over to left-wing causes and candidates, hoping you don't notice. But now you have a choice. They funnel millions that way. Coin, C-O-I-G-N, is America's conservative credit card. Find them at coin.com. With every transaction, you help Coin, C-O-I-G-N, advance conservative causes and charities at no cost to you. Coin empowers us to take back our country with every swipe. It's a great-looking credit card, too. You'll take pride in it. It's bright red with We the People on the front. Coin works everywhere Visa's accepted and comes with a 100% U.S.-based customer service and consumer protections. It's the only card worthy of your wallet. Start earning cash back while fighting the liberal agenda today. Apply now at coin.com. At coign.com. Be sure to select Dan Bongino, please, in that How Did You Hear About Us section. Check it out, Coin. Coin.com, C-O-I-G-N. Terms apply. Go to coin.com/disclosures for full details. And our last sponsor today is Tax Network. Oh, yeah. Check them. Student loan forgiveness, handouts, and free everything. Seems like everyone gets a free pass, except you. You're an honest, hardworking, tax-paying citizen. And then when COVID tough times happens, what happened? You fall behind with unfiled tax returns, and instead of forgiveness, the IRS is hunting people down, hiring thousands of new enforcement agents. But listen, it's risky to call the IRS yourself. You need Tax Network USA. Their aggressive strategies are designed to help solve your IRS problems quickly and in your favor. They have preferred direct lines to the IRS. They know which agents to work with and which to avoid. Tax Network USA specializes in helping to reduce or eliminate your tax debt. They've helped resolve over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Some of these tax solutions expire, so you don't want to wait on this. Tax Network USA is owned by fellow patriots. They're giving you a free consultation. Call 1-800-958-1000. That's 1-800-958-1000. You got to scroll that a little bit, guys. Or visit tnusa.com/Dan. tnusa.com/Dan. Again, 1-800-958-1000. tnusa.com/Dan. Check them out. All right, back to the show. So I sent this tweet out and it went nuclear yesterday, and it was talking about how institutions and organizations are collapsing everywhere, and smart people just don't trust them anymore. Now, I noted at the end, feel free to add to this growing list because I don't want you to think this was it. The media, FBI, DOJ, IRS, COVID scientists, medical associations, scientific associations, bond rating agencies, environmental scientists, woke corporate America, teachers unions. There are hundreds more. But my brother, who doesn't reach out too often, he's working. He's an electrician up in New York, a union electrician up in New York. My brother's like, dude, you just nailed it with this tweet. Like, people just don't trust these people. We just don't trust you. I bring this up because not that we trusted DHS before. We never did under the Biden administration. But after yesterday's hearing, where a Customs and Border Protection official absolutely blew the whistle on what's happening with terrorists and drugs at the border, it's not good enough to not trust them. We need to get a president in there, hopefully DJT, that is going to fire everyone involved with this calamity and start over. I want you to listen to this guy talk about what happened when they found SIAs, basically people suspected of terror at the border. You think like they deported them, right? Good luck. Here, check this out.
In San Diego, we had an exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border. Fentanyl is another issue. The San Diego area sees between 80 and 90% of the methamphetamine and fentanyl seizures annually for our entire country. With little enforcement at the border, these drugs were coming through en masse. During my last year in San Diego, the price for a single pill of fentanyl, for example, went from $10 to 25 cents. To make matters worse, during 2022 and 23, I had to shut down San Diego traffic checkpoints, which are critical for drug interdiction, because the resources had been diverted to the process and release mission.
So SIAs, which is apparently their internal jargon for terrorists, and drugs were flowing across the border. And the Biden administration's first inclination was to tell these guys to shut their pie holes about it and not tell anyone, while drugs and terrorists were piling across our border. Folks, how the are you voting for Kamala Harris? How are you voting? I don't understand how you're just not simply voting against her. Even if you hate Donald Trump, how the hell are you saying to yourself, okay, I can tolerate 4 more years. His last 4 years were pretty good. I maybe didn't like him, but I can get past my emotions for 4 more years. But I can't have drugs pouring in my community and terrorists. How are you voting for this woman? The joy. How are you voting for her? How? Folks, I've had to hold my nose and vote for shit candidates a lot because the alternative was worse. Republicans are stuck doing it all the time because we can't vote Democrat. They're communists. So we get stuck with Jeff Flakes and Mitt Romneys. But we got to go out and do it because the opposite is even worse. We live in the real world and we can get rid of them, which we did. Flake is gone and Romney's gone. I'm not voting for a communist, even though Romney sucks. How is it that Kamala fake supporters, because there's no real supporters, because they don't know what they're supporting, she doesn't say anything. How is it they're not saying the same thing? You're listening to a Border Patrol official blow the whistle on Capitol Hill about an enormous scandal, terrorists and drugs piling across the border, and the Biden team hiding it, and you're voting for more of this? I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. Even if your goal is to destroy America, you at least want to, you have some kind of mercenary goal in it, at least, right? To profit for. How do you profit from this? Terrorists and drugs, unless you're a drug dealer or an actual terrorist. Folks, institutions are collapsing everywhere. I want you to, listen, I need you to put down what you're doing for a second, unless you're driving, holding small children, sharp weapons, or heavy machinery, okay? This is a really, really important segment. Guy was joking about this article, but it's an important one. Folks, if we lose this election, we are at an inflection point right now. I want you to understand this is not a normal election. We have a technology out there. Please, I hope this is coming across. And if I'm beating this to death, I'm sorry, but I still don't think people understand. There is a technology out there called artificial intelligence that over the next 4 years is going to come to dominate society like the internet did. You understand nothing is going to be the same? Did you see this latest iPhone update? Eye tracking, Siri can like finish your sentences now. Do you understand in 4 years, this is going to be geometrically more advanced technology? You think the eye tracking on your iPhone is bad? Wait till you go out in public and every single thing you look at in the street has you eye tracked. Oh, look, he stopped and looked at a Victoria's Secret ad. Oh my gosh, let's him in. He must be looking for lingerie for his wife or something. Gee, that never happens. This is going to be everywhere. Oh, no, it's not, Dan. Yes, it is. And who do you think's going to be vacuuming up all this information? That's right. The Kamala Harris government, if she wins. Get your attention with the Victoria's Secret thing? Let me go where I wanted to go with it. You're walking down the street. There's a gun shop or a pawn shop. There's some government camera somewhere. Oh, that'll never happen. It's not like China does that now. You stop at the window. Camera notices your eyes, tracking a couple of firearms. You don't think you're going to find yourself on a list? No. It's not like they're inventing technology that does that kind of stuff. It's not like they're inventing technology. It's going to scour online for conservative content, label it disinformation. Oh, look, reclaim the net. Lockheed Martin develops a system to identify and counter online disinformation. Prototype by DARPA. You know DARPA? Helped create the early internet? You understand what this project is, right? This project has nothing to do with disinformation. This project has to do with a mass AI-based censoring content online. Disinformation, I don't know what Lockheed's doing. I can tell you what the government's going to do with it. We lose this election, folks, and you vote your way into socialism. The only way out is death, because they'll come get you. This is not the Bill Clinton, Bob Dole election, man. You understand why there's no excuse on election day? Oh, I'm sick. I got an ingrown toenail. Like, I don't care. That's cold, Dan. I don't care. I don't care about the toenail. I don't care that it's cold. We got a country to save. So my friend Ginny says, you're the leaders we've been waiting for. Don't wait for someone else to save it. It's yours. Whoever controls AI going forward will rule the world. That is not an exaggeration. You have no idea how powerful this technology is going to be. Combined with facial ID, eye tracking, movement technology, license plate scanners. You're not going to be able to do anything without the government knowing it. Now, let me make this real for you. Because I've got the feeling, and forgive me, I know my P1s, you guys get it. But to the folks out there who aren't P1s, I want to put a little meat on the bone. I want to show you what's coming right now when the government and DARPA get a hold of really sophisticated advanced AI, which they're probably using now. You have a gun? A lot of you do. I want you to listen to this clip by Tom Massey. He's talking back and forth to Jerry Nadler. I don't know if you know this, but they tried to change regulations by the ATF to basically classify everyone as a gun dealer. There's a very simple reason. They want to make sure you're a gun dealer, so you have to sign up with the government so you can never dispose of your gun to your son or anyone else without them knowing where it is. That's the only reason, right? Here's Tom Massey talking about how this is all based on some fake gun show loophole that's not even real. I'm going to tie this to AI in a second. Because let me tell you something. You don't think they're using AI to come after your guns. You're freaking crazy. Check this out.
The department also notes that the term gun show loophole is a misnomer and that there is no statutory exemption under the Gun Control Act for unlicensed persons to engage in the business of dealing in firearms at a gun show or at any other venue. I would hope that when Biden's own ATF quotes Biden's own DOJ that there is no gun show loophole, that this is a lie that's repeated over and over in the media, that maybe my colleagues on the other side of the aisle would pay attention.
They're trying to rewrite who a gun owner is so that you have to sign up as a federally licensed firearm dealer, even if you give your gun to your kid legally, because they want paperwork on you. Now, where do you think they're going to go? Where do you think that once AI is fully implemented, when they start doing the raids to grab your guns, they're going to use AI to figure out who exactly has the guns, and they're going to use this aggregation of ATF paperwork to figure it out. None of this is hard. Oh, stop, Dan. It's not like Kamala Harris has said she's going to come in your house and check for your guns. Okay, here's Kamala Harris saying she's going to come in your house and check for your guns. Check this out.
Behaviors among everybody in the community, and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
Have you heard from...
It's her own words, man. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Then it's hers. How do you think they're going to find the homes to go into? AI, folks. DARPA projects. Government AI aggregating paperwork in seconds. They're going to generate lists, cross-referencing MAGA people, conservative donations, think tanks that are conservative, gun owners, been in a store, credit card charged at a store. It's going to take microseconds for them to figure this out. Exactly. He just brought up a great. You ever go to like Scroogle ads? How do you think Google works? Folks, you don't think it's weird? Have you ever seen this? Folks in the chat, yes or no? Bongino, get on this for me. You haven't used it in a while. You're in the house and you're telling Guy, this happened a few weeks ago. Hey, I need a new microphone stand. This is a new one. The old one broke. We've had that one since the beginning. You don't find it weird in 5 minutes you get a Google and Facebook ad? Microphone equipment, new RE20s. You're like, holy shit, how'd they know that? I didn't search anything. Are they listening to you? I have no idea. You don't think the government's doing the same thing? They've got eye trackers on your phone now. You don't think that data's being stored? Folks, the new iPhone, iOS, has eye trackers. Look at it. It can track your eyes. It's an actual feature. You don't think that data's being stored? Oh, look, he spent a lot of time looking at that SKS rifle. He's a MAGA donor? Who do you think's buying this stuff? We lose this election, man. We are absolutely screwed. She is not kidding. We're going to come in your homes and check up on your guns. Believe them when they say what they're going to do. Here's the good news, because it's Friday, and I'm in a really good mood today. Today's show so far been a fire show. I'm loving it. I like the wide variety of topics. It lets me kind of expound a little bit and do the show I'd like to do. I like doing these shows, but sometimes the news takes over. The good news on a Friday is this is a genuinely awful candidate, Kamala Harris. I'm not kidding, folks. I know I'm not objective. I'm a Trump supporter, but I can try. This is the worst candidate they have ever run for president since Walter Mondale. She is unlikable. She is cringy. She's really not bright. She has no aptitude, and she has a very low social IQ. She is just awful around people. And let me tell you something. I don't know what cool is. I grew up with Happy Days where the Fonz was the cool cat. So I don't know if I'm like the best judge of what's cool or not. I don't even know if cool's a word anymore. I don't know what these kids use all these crazy words. I don't even know what it means. The MOG stuff and all this thing. I got to ask my daughter what half this shit means, okay? The good news is Kamala's just not cool. It's like the je ne sais quoi. You don't know what it is, but you know it when you see it, and you sure as hell know it when you don't see it. Here's a CNN segment with one of the commentators noting, we got a problem. Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, Kamala Harris, they're really not cool, but Donald Trump just like kind of is. This is CNN, by the way. Check this out.
Donald Trump, he plays golf with Bryson DeChambeau. Yeah. He goes on Theo Vaughn. He talks about Zins. And, you know, Democrats, I'm sorry, like they haven't had a cool guy candidate in a while. And like, with all due respect to Tim Walz, like Tim Walz appeals to a lot of men. He also appeals to that guy Bruce in Jeff's package. He's wearing a Future is Female shirt. Yeah. Like that guy in Madison, Wisconsin is already going to vote Democrat. Yeah. I'm sorry. How do you reach the young men?
Yeah.
Folks, you know this is real. There he is. Tampon Tim making an appearance. Everything's backwards on the screen. There he is, celebrating the men's tampon. about that lady. Remember that lady with the milk boys? What are you going to do? Shove it up your ass? That was probably the greatest clip ever. This guy's absolutely right. I never even heard this guy in my life. The cool thing, the je ne sais quoi, whatever you want to call it, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell cool is. If you're telling people you're cool, you're probably a douchebag. But he's right. Trump goes on Gutfeld. They're laughing it up. Kamala Harris on Oprah. Can you feel the joy? She's like, happy, happy, joy, joy, joy. And everybody's like cringing, like looking at their buddy like, did that just happen? He's a weirdo. Here's some more good news. I love Rasmussen. It's one of the few polling sites. Polls don't mean shit. They only mean something to the media. That's it, and donors. However, I've said this over and over. I'd rather be up than down, right? But they don't mean shit to me. However, these Rasmussen guys are pretty good. So when they talk, I listen. Here was Rasmussen, one of their pollsters, on about Pennsylvania. It's all about Pennsylvania. I'm going to leave you some good news on a Friday. Well, I got more, but this is a good one. He's on with Benny Johnson. Benny's a friend of mine. They were talking about Rasmussen, about Pennsylvania. Excuse me, this Rasmussen again. This is really important. Check this out.
Our new polls in Pennsylvania, as well as these ones that just dropped, might even start to change the betting odds in Pennsylvania, because I still think they slightly favor Kamala Harris. And then the betting odds will start to go because Pennsylvania is so pivotal. The narrative is going to, in my opinion, probably next week be that Kamala Harris is starting to lose. Not just Nate Silver and Mark Mitchell and a few of these other individual pollsters, like in a way that they can't escape in the mainstream media. At least that's what it looks like.
Folks, if she loses Pennsylvania and Donald Trump can overcome the debacle that's going to happen, because I'm telling you right now, they're going to do what they did in 2020. She has almost no viable pathway to victory. None. She needs Pennsylvania like she needs a vasculatory system to stay alive. She cannot lose Pennsylvania. It is pure desperation time if the polls turn bad in Pennsylvania next week for her. Again, polls are shit. It's time to go out and execute. I don't care if it shows us up 10 points. It doesn't matter. Nothing changes. Execute, bring 10 people, period. But their internals in Pennsylvania must be really bad. By the way, I don't know if this is a Trump ad or not. I saw this online yesterday. But if it isn't, this should absolutely be a Trump ad. Going forward, Trump team, you don't need my advice. Listen, you can do your own thing. You've been doing fine. However, if you were to ask your boy Dan Bongino, what would you do going forward in digital advertising? I would do nothing but play clips of Kamala Harris and just put the Donald Trump sounder at the end, exactly like this one. Check this out.
Now they have pledged to carry out the largest deportation, a mass deportation in American history. Imagine what that would look like and what that would be.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
This is all they should do from this point on. They should play the video of Kamala Harris. We're going to come into your homes and we're going to take a look at what you're doing with your guns. I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. I'm Kamala Harris. We're going to cancel your plan. We're going to do it. We're just going to start over in your healthcare plan. I'm Donald Trump and I approve this message. That's all they would do. Would you defund ICE? Yeah, I think we should start over and get rid of ICE. I'm Donald Trump and I approve. That's all I would play. The thing about Kamala Harris, ladies and gentlemen, is Kamala Harris's worst enemy is not Donald Trump. It's Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris cannot escape her history of saying really dumb shit. And that's why I'm a little freaked out that the cheating and everything else is going to be worse than it was even in 2020. Now, I had a guest, Ned Ryan, on my radio show yesterday, who, believe me, is as conservative gets. This guy he'll go after any side. He's a good dude. I had him on about his book. Ned said that a lot of the cheating mechanisms they had in 2020, not all, have been cleaned up a bit. We'll see. I'm a bit of a skeptic. He's kind of skeptical too, but he made some really good points. If you're on my Locals account, you can see the interview yesterday. The third hour of the radio show is only available online for local subscribers. But folks, this story about the Iranians giving information to the Kamala Harris team. Oh, man, hold on a second. Not you guys, but I'm going to throw the Bongino rule flag here. I'm just going to tell you something. Forget about the politics and the other stuff for a second. I think this story is a little more sinister than the media's letting on. I'm sorry. The story is very simple. The Iranian Death to America government was apparently trying to leak information to Kamala Harris's campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, if this was the Trump campaign, you know damn well, like my name is Dan Bongino, there would be an FBI FISA investigation right now and Donald Trump would be in handcuffs. But amazingly, you've heard very little about this story. Were there communications? Did someone from the Harris campaign get honeypotted? I mean, the Iranians do want to kill President Trump and all. Why have we heard more about this story again? Seems like kind of a big deal, right? The Death to America Iranians involved in a really hot conflict right now in the Middle East. We're trying to coordinate with the Democrat nominee for president's campaign while openly threatening the life of the opponent, Donald Trump. Seems like kind of a big story, no? Think the FBI being involved in that? Here's Tim Murtaugh from the Trump campaign, a really, really great guy. Murtaugh's excellent. On Fox, he has some pretty pertinent questions about this you should probably pay attention to.
Well, it's election interference, isn't it? Plain and simple. And there's no mystery why that would be. When Donald Trump was president, Iran was weak and broke. And under Biden and Harris, they are strong and rich. And so, of course, the Iranians prefer Kamala Harris, of course, because they have a pliant, sympathetic figure in her. The questions here today are, what exactly did the Harris campaign do with this stolen information that they were sent? What did they do with it? Did they try to shop it to the media? Did they use it in any way? This is absolutely election interference. And the big question today is, what did Kamala Harris know and when did she know it about this Iranian election interference? No question it's happening.
This morning, the suspect in the second, sadly, we've got to delineate which assassination plot we're freaking talking about because President Trump is being hunted. I use that word deliberately. Some people will know what I mean if they're listening. Some people who really care. Listen to me. Listen to me. Trump is being hunted by professionals who know exactly what they're doing. And because I hate teases, is the Secret Service compromised? Now, I know you say, well, Dan, you brought that up last week. Is there a mole, whether intentional or unintentional, in the Secret Service? I'll talk about that. But someone, let's just say who can be trusted, I spoke to last week at the end of the week, has informed me that their communication system for the Secret Service may be almost entirely compromised. In other words, people trying to hunt and kill Donald Trump may know more about what Donald Trump is doing than Donald Trump is doing. Folks, we got a serious problem. And the problem is the people in charge of the Secret Service right now are not serious people. The people at the top are too busy trying to cover up their own role in the substandard security plan for President Trump. Nothing is going to change. We are in real trouble. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm not trying to panic anyone. I'm trying to tell you this isn't over. You thought it was over after the first one? We had the second one. You thought it was over after the second one? Folks, there's more. He is being hunted right now. I want to show you something first. I want to show you the DOJ thing. Here's the DOJ release. The DOJ release is a little more clear than the handwritten memo, handwritten letter from this suspect in the second assassination attempt, Ralph, the West Palm Beach assassination attempt. They note that in September 18th of 2024, so just recently, law enforcement was contacted by a civilian witness, stated that Ralph dropped off a box at his residence several months prior. The witness opened the box. The witness stated the box contained ammunition, a metal pipe, building materials, tools, 4 phones, and various letters. It's also alleged he had some license plates, too. One handwritten letter addressed to the world stated, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, but I failed you. I tried my best and gave it all the gumption I can muster. It is up to you now to finish the job. I will offer $150,000 to whomever can complete the job." The witness took a photograph of the first page of the handwritten letter, as shown below, and you can see the letter if you look online. Folks, this is not to be gaffed off. We don't know if this guy had the $150,000. Let me just say that up front. How the hell does a guy who says he was living off $3,000 a month come up with $150,000 if, that's a big if he had it? How does he put that in there? And it confirms something I told you last week. I'm glad you listened to the show. I do not think that if these allegations turn out to be true, that this guy was engaged in a suicide by cop attempt. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think this guy was working with someone, and I'm almost positive now my theory is correct. This guy, he had ballistic shields there. He was ready to rock and roll, and this guy had a GoPro camera there. This guy managed to evade surveillance for as long as he did. This guy may not have been some Marine Force Recon Scout sniper here, okay? But this guy was clearly there, it looks like from the evidence there, to do some dirty work, okay? $150,000 bounty, a GoPro camera to record the evidence that he was looking to apparently take out President Trump with an SKS rifle scoped out. There's something going on here, folks. There is something really sinister. Now, I said last week, is there a mole inside the Secret Service? The mole does not have to be intentional. I'm not suggesting the mole is like that Salt movie with Angelina Jolie where she's this lifelong mole inside the CIA. I got some in my eye there. I'm not telling you that. Could be the case. And I had an interesting incident when I was an instructor at the Secret Service Training Center that I thought about this weekend that reminded me how easy it would be to infiltrate the Secret Service. I already told you about my the Moscow story when me and my partner in Moscow found a foreign spy in the embassy. I showed you the news reports. You think, oh, damn, Bongino's making it up. I showed you the freaking news reports. Me and my buddy outed her and they told us to let it go. I showed you the freaking news reports. There was another incident in a training center with someone suspected of having ties to an enemy government of the United States' embassy. It would not be hard to infiltrate the Secret Service, to be a mole. But there could be some kind of mole in there who doesn't know they're a mole. They got honeypotted or something. They're talking to some woman online they think is their next Tinder date or whatever, and it turns out that person's actively recruiting people for the Iranian government. How are these people getting all this information about holes in Secret Service security plans, roofs, tree lines, fence lines on golf courses, and beating the Secret Service at their own security game? How is it happening? Because I am hearing the Secret Service communication system is likely compromised. Not sure you're going to hear that anywhere else. But folks, it's a big deal. How does that tie to the mole story? And how do I tie this all together for you? Folks, how did they get in? Did they socially engineer someone and get a password, an email password? Did they go to a hotel room with someone and get their phone when they were in the bathroom or something? Is it something more high tech? Is it some type of Pegasus infiltration or something like that? But my source is reasonably confident that the Secret Service comm system has been infiltrated. The Secret Service knows about this. By the way, I am not suicidal. Just want to put that out there again. It's bad enough, but not for me personally. I'm feeling pretty good. I just want to put that out there. If it is compromised, ladies and gentlemen, and Donald Trump, I'm telling you, is being hunted right now, we got ourselves a big effing problem right now. We ain't going to make it to Inauguration Day. And the people in charge of the Secret Service are too busy passing the buck and trying to cover up their own malfeasance that they're not focused at all on what they need to focus on. There's a reason there wasn't a drone up there. You know why? Because they didn't want one. These are the same people. Put up the Fox article, please. I want you to pay special attention to the date on this article. Iranian operative plotting an assassination of John Bolton targeted Mike Pompeo. This exact same plot involved Donald Trump, folks. This article was written by Fox News in 2022. That's over 2 years ago now. Now, if the article was written in 2022 about the plot, how long do you think the plot was going on? I'll answer that for you. The plot had been going on since about 2020, possibly earlier. The Secret Service has known about a very sophisticated plot of people hunting Donald Trump. You believe it or not? I don't care if you believe it or not. I'm telling you, trusted people are telling me this is absolutely 100% legit. People whose lives are on the line. This is absolutely legit. This plot is real. Trump is being hunted because he killed Soleimani and doesn't give a shit about the Iranian government. And if he gets back in office, the Iranian government's got a reckoning coming with this whole nuclear 2015 JCPOA thing. They know it. They know it. And I believe they're taking advantage of a political schism in the United States and an opening to try to do their business now. They have known about this for about 4 years, this plot. So why haven't they secured President Trump's life? I want to play this again. I played it on Friday. It's short, but pay very close attention. Jack Posobiec did a hit with Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz said something, I'm telling you, he's not lying. He's not making this up. He said this on the show. It got very little attention, but it's going to get your attention because we're going to play it again. Folks, this is not done. Take a look.
I'll break a little news for you. I had a senior official from the Department of Homeland Security in my office before the second assassination attempt saying that what he has assessed is that there are 5 known assassination teams in the United States, 3 inspired by other governments, 2 that are here that are known domestic assassination teams. And with that, this individual was coming to me concerned that the force protection around President Trump, even prior to that second assassination attempt, was not sufficient for what it needed to be.
Folks, I'm concerned about all 5 of these teams that are hit teams hunting President Trump, but I'm very concerned about the 3. Not that they all aren't a threat, but the 3 alleged to be associated with a foreign government. It is clear right now the Iranians are hunting Trump. They are looking for any hole and any compromised security plan where they can secrete themselves into a hole. If they have the compromised communication system within the Secret Service, whether it be radio, email, text traffic, or whatever it may be, the Iranians may be a step ahead of the Secret Service's security plan. So if someone in, say, the Secret Service is emailing a request for a drone or a post stander, and that post is denied, there may be someone in advance who knows about it. I believe there's a reason we know relatively nothing right now about the Butler, Pennsylvania attacker. Someone or some system within the Secret Service, I believe, has been compromised. And I believe the FBI knows. I believe the FBI is hiding information for all kinds of reasons. I give the management of the FBI absolutely no leeway whatsoever. But I think one of the reasons is there's a bombshell story about to come out about someone or some system within the Secret Service that was compromised that allowed someone else, maybe a foreign government, some hit team, or someone hunting Donald Trump to take advantage of known holes in the security plan. It doesn't make any sense otherwise, folks. How did they know? Now, I have a quick solution now, and no one's going to like it. Even my friends may not. But I'm sorry, it's the only way. Folks, everyone's going to have to be polygraphed. It's going to take forever. But with some of the DOD assets, everyone in the capital region, everyone in the DC capital region who works anywhere near or anyone on the Trump detail, you're probably going to have to be polygraphed again. Folks, there is something going on out there. And if they don't find the source here, the source of this infiltration into their network, if they don't find it, then this is not done. This is not done. I want you all to understand that. Dan, why do you keep talking about this? Because we may not even have a campaign. You're not going to have a campaign without a candidate. There's no way two attackers knew exactly where the soft spots in the security plan were. There's no chance. And why is it that the Iranians, with a history of honeypotting people in Israel and around the world, taking advantage of loner kind of losers using honeypots? This isn't a Jason Bourne novel. They take advantage of idiots with nothing to lose. You've got two guys that fit the profile who magically found holes in a Secret Service security plan, seeming to know in advance where the security wouldn't be, and nobody's asking questions? Folks, the current director of the Secret Service, acting, Ron Rowe, and his deputy and other people in the protective operations chain knew about this Iranian threat for 4 years. Where the hell is this guy getting this alleged $150,000 he claims to have to, quote, finish the job? And why the hell is the DOJ, that can't seem to want to release the Nashville shooter manifesto, release this one right away, sends out a bat signal, $150K, anyone willing to kill Donald Trump? Are you shitting me, bro? Whose dumbass idea was it to release that? Here's Ron Rowe in a presser last week. He's going to pass the buck, folks. Here's what he's doing. To insulate himself and his management team from avoiding this Iranian threat, doing very little about it, and putting President Trump in a really bad situation, the comm system I'm hearing is compromised. Folks, this is actual investigative reporting here. He doesn't want to admit any of this. He still admits fault and then goes back and retracts it and puts lipstick on it. He's going to pass the buck to the Pittsburgh field office now. I know the Pittsburgh field office guys. They're good guys. But they were probably told, don't even bother asking for security assets in Butler because you're not going to get them. So now he's going to accountability for the Pittsburgh guys while these guys at the top who knew about this Iran plot get nothing? Are you shitting me? Listen to this.
An assurance review has identified deficiencies in the advanced planning and its implementation by Secret Service personnel. These employees will be held accountable, and this agency has among the most robust table of penalties in the entirety of the federal government.
Okay, so employees are going to be held accountable. Are we going to get the names of these agents that almost got Trump killed? No.
You said we were now moving into the accountability phase of this Butler investigation. You did not want to discuss names of who might be punished, so to speak, but can you give us more detail, at least maybe how many people would face punishment or repercussions for what happened in Butler, at what levels of the organization those people represent, and what level of punishment, again, they may face?
So, again, I can't comment on this. This is a personnel matter that is still pending.
This is bullshit. This is only him trying to pass the buck to keep your eyes off of the Iranian threat they've known about for 4 years, folks. This is a known threat. This is not something they were guessing at. I want to show you a clip coming up next. Another clip. Jesse Waters' team been doing a good job of it. This other one won't let this story go, and he shouldn't. There is a whistleblower now coming out to Josh Hawley, who's been doing a great job, Republican senator from Missouri. There's a whistleblower out there now who seems to be implying that there was a vulnerability left open for a reason. You read it whatever way you want. I'm going to play the clip coming up for you next. I'm just telling you, listen to me. Someone or some system has likely been compromised within the Secret Service, and it's not over. Let me take a quick break, folks. When we get back, I'm going to show you this clip coming up next. Hawley's got a whistleblower who is tearing it up. The bone charged infrared sauna blanket and red light face mask are absolute go-tos in my house. Paula absolutely loves it. The red light face mask, I use, one, it makes your skin look really nice, but second, for me, it helps me go to sleep too. That red light at night is just amazing. I first turned to the sauna blanket to help with muscle recovery and detoxification. It's become a game changer. The benefits of sauna, I strongly encourage you to look them up. I love this product. It's easy to use. Just wrap yourself up. Let the infrared heat work. It's magic. I've noticed a real difference in how relaxed I get at night, rejuvenated I feel the next day. I sleep like a baby after using it. The red light face mask, Paula loves it. Really impressive. She's been using it to improve her skin's texture and reduce inflammation. The results have been absolutely amazing. Just check out our pictures. My skin feels smoother, looks more vibrant. I've checked it out, love it. Helps me sleep at night too. The overall tone evens out. It's like having a mini spa treatment right at home. If you're thinking of trying them out, you're in luck. Head to bonecharge.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino at checkout to get 15% off. Both of these products have made a real positive impact on helping my wellness routine. And Paula's, I'm sure you'll love them too. Use code Bongino at BoneCharge, BONCHARGE, BONCHARGE, bonecharge.com/Bongino to save 15%. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or condition. Paula was using it last night as we were chilling out, watching some TV at the end of the night. Folks, I want you to watch this. Hawley appears to be implying from a whistleblower here that someone within the Secret Service, this whistleblower, is feeding him information about an inside threat. There was a vulnerability point left open there. Does somebody know about this? Is there a mole? Is there an accidental mole, an explicit or an explicit mole in the Secret Service? Something has been compromised. Listen to this.
Well, what we've heard, Jesse, from new whistleblowers who've come forward about this second assassination attempt on Donald Trump's life, and here's what they have told us. That golf course that the president was playing, Secret Service have guarded that course many, many times, and what the whistleblower says is protocol calls for Secret Service to station agents along the places in the course that are known vulnerabilities. I want to emphasize the service has guarded this course many times. They know where there are vulnerabilities. They normally station agents there ahead of Trump's appearance on the course, but they apparently did not do that this last weekend. And the whistleblowers tell me that's strange. That's out of protocol. It's not even clear Secret Service swept the perimeter before Trump took to the course. Also a breach of protocol.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, there is something really, really sinister going on here. Look at this tweet from Catherine Herridge, an amazing reporter who does actual investigative reporting. Jim Jordan knows something. I'm sure of it. Jim Jordan's now demanding the FBI give him a briefing on the Iranian hack of the Trump campaign. They are inside the comm system, folks. It's not just the campaign. This is real. They want to know what material did Iran obtain from the Trump campaign? Maybe schedules and security information? To whom at the Biden for president or Harris for president campaigns did the hackers send info? Here's the critical question. Question numero tres. What actions did the Biden-Harris campaign take? Ladies and gentlemen, now are you starting to put together what I'm putting down? The Biden for president and Harris for president campaigns knew about the Iranian hacks. What did they know and when did they know it? How did the attackers know the soft spots in the security plan? Did the Biden-Harris team alert anyone? Is someone in there connected to the Iranians? Was someone at the Biden-Harris team compromised? I mean, we already know about the guy working in the White House with the suspect connections to the Iranians. They had to steal away his security clearance and couldn't figure out how to do it. Folks, none of this is done. Now, thankfully, we got this second guy alive, this Routh guy, the suspect in the second assassination plot. I want to play a clip by Mike Benz again. It's a new one, not the same one I played last week, but it's a good one. Talking about, again, the strange behavior of the second alleged assassin. The Kamala campaign is linked up with the Iranians, apparently, somehow, trying to feed them information. What the hell did they know? The Iranians have been trying to kill Trump since 2020. This guy claims to have $150,000 in a bounty. He was filming the thing on a GoPro, ready to shoot it out. What more could you possibly want to hear? I'm telling you, something's been compromised inside the Secret Service. Here's Benz on the strange behavior and foreign exposure of this guy, Routh. You put two and two together. Something sinister's going on here. Take a look.
Well, it's almost overwhelming in terms of the fire hose of information from the social media trail. But there's one thing that's consistent through it all, which is Routh's absolute dogmatic obsession, his life purpose, his personal livelihood to recruit foreign militant fighters from Afghanistan, from Pakistan, from Iran to join the CIA's fight in Ukraine. It's a very strange situation, which is basically the the same sort of work that's done through Spy Master's complex recruiting efforts when they're trying to recruit ISIS terrorists to sensitive CIA hot zones when they need additional cannon fodder for military or intelligence work. You know, I've talked about this several times this week, the strange similarities between exactly what Ryan Routh was doing and what Michael Springman, the State Department whistleblower in the run-up to 9/11, described as the CIA's Visas for Terrorists program.
Well, I mean, what else could you possibly want to hear? What else could you possibly want to hear, folks? I'm going to leave this here because we got an election coming up. I got a lot more to talk about, including the Kamala Harris campaign absolutely collapsing at this point. I'm not telling you they can't win. I don't want to hear any bullshit about a red wave, period. Execute, bring 10 people with you. Make sure if early voting started in Virginia or somewhere else, you're out voting, period. Bank your vote, that's it. But this is serious. Filming it, GoPro, filming his own crimes. Evidence of what terrorists do. $150K bounty. DOJ releases the bounty. A source telling me the Secret Service comm systems have been compromised. This guy engaged in some suspicious foreign overseas activity that strangely resembles CIA recruiting plots. The Iranians in a known plot since 2020 trying to kill Donald Trump. And anyone telling you out there, it's a conspiracy theory. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Did Trump or did he not have Soleimani killed? Okay, he did. The people releasing this do not want to make Trump look tough on Iran. They had to. They were forced into it. Why would you think this is some kind of scam? This is real. This is real. And the threat to the country right now is critical. We've got a president in charge who barely knows where he is. We've got a vice president who doesn't want to do TV interviews, has absolutely reduced our exposure to the public to the point of near absurdity at this point. We've got Donald Trump nearly assassinated twice, and we've got an airtight election. I want to hear any talk about a red wave. Folks, this is critical mass time. It's not time to panic. It's time to execute. But I'm telling you, something better be done real quick to fix the Secret Service. I'm going to have to polygraph people, and you may have to bring in support. Whether it's retired Secret Service guys who can be trusted to get back in there, to take a look at this thing, put on some kind of a panel review board with like an immediate 1 week turnaround, something's got to be done quick or someone's going to get killed. Someone else. And yes, I realize I probably started a lot of trouble with today's podcast. I don't care. This is good trouble. Kind we need to be starting. I was going to take a break. I just want to show this to you quick. This is how bad things are. Did you see Biden this weekend? They let him speak in public. He's at an event with the head of state for India. He's supposed to, India, like the country, he's supposed to introduce him. He forgets who he's supposed to introduce and starts screaming at people. You don't think foreign governments are seeing this and ready to take advantage of this hole in our leadership? Take a look at this.
I want to thank you all for being here. And now, who am I introducing next? Who's next?
Distinguished guests, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
They call that the VOG, the voice of God, small g. That's what it's called. I'm just telling you. That announcer, that's when you need the VOG to rescue you because you don't even know the Prime Minister of India. You're supposed to, it's like kind of a big country. I hear they have a few people. It's not small. He doesn't even know, folks. You've got the Iranians compromised our communications network, apparently trying to work with the Kamala campaign. You've got a paper tiger in charge, a wet paper tiger in charge now. I'm telling you, man, buckle up and get ready for the next few months. Seriously. No effing around. You'll get clown like Krusty. Trust me. Some of you get that. I guess you had to be a 90s kid. You get don't get clown like Krusty. Please, take my word for it. We are in really deep shit right now. Quick break. And on the other side is the media knows what's going on. The media is desperately trying to hide all of this right now. They are trying to run through the tape without letting the American people know the danger we're in right now, especially from a Kamala Harris presidency. I'm going to show you a damning clip coming up next. Quick break. Hey, a lot can happen over the next 4 years. Life insurance helps you feel assured that your family is protected. Policy Genius helps you find the right life insurance policy at the best price so you can have one less thing to prepare for. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 a year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius's technology lets you compare quotes from America's top insurers in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. If you ever need help or guidance, they have an expert licensed support team to answer your questions, handle paperwork, and advocate for you throughout the process. It's the country's leading online insurance marketplace. Since they don't have an incentive to recommend one insurer over another, their advice is unbiased. Join thousands of happy Policy Genius customers who've left 5-star reviews. Be ready for the future with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. Policygenius.com, policygenius.com. And our last sponsor, Listen, the number one question I get from listeners is, how can I get in the conservative fight? Well, it's critical to know where your dollars are going. Many credit card companies are funneling millions to left-wing causes and candidates, hoping you didn't notice. Now you have a choice. Coin, you probably heard about it. It's America's conservative credit card. Find them at coign.com, coin.com. With every transaction, you help Coin advance conservative causes and charities at no cost to you. Coin empowers us to take back our country with every swipe. It's a great-looking credit card you'll take pride in using. It's bright red with We the People on the front. Coin works everywhere Visa's accepted. Comes with a 100% U.S.-based customer service and consumer protections. It's the only card worthy of your wallet. Start earning cash back while fighting the liberal agenda today. Apply now at coin.com. That's coign.com. Be sure to select Dan Bongino. And how'd you hear about us? We appreciate it. Terms apply. Go to coin.com/disclosures for full details. Folks, this clip got a lot of traffic this weekend from the Bill Maher show. It got a lot of traffic, however, for all of the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. We have a massive, massive security threat to the United States right now. And I could make a very strong case to you that the leading accomplice in this American bank robbery going on of our political future are the media. They hid Biden's mental state and accused us all of a conspiracy theory when we warned the American people this guy was cognitively compromised. Fact. And they're now hiding Kamala Harris's destructive agenda, who amazingly, she's running on a campaign of a new way forward, despite being the way backwards and the way right now. And the media is not even remotely interested in addressing the security threat Kamala Harris has caused. Kamala Harris is weak. The Biden administration is weak. What the hell did they know about this Iranian threat, the Iranian threat to Donald Trump? None of these questions will be answered. Because Stephanie Ruhle, who claims to be a journalist, was on Bill Maher's show, and Stephanie Ruhle isn't even interested in a Kamala Harris interview. Matter of fact, she's apologizing for Kamala Harris hiding from the American people. We will never get answers from these media people. They are not part of the problem. They are the problem. Watch this damning clip.
It's not too much to ask Kamala, say, are you for a Palestinian state if Hamas is going to run that state?
Okay.
Yes or no?
And let's say you don't like her answer. Are you going to vote for Donald Trump?
No, I'm not.
Kamala
I just said I'm not going to vote for her.
Harris is not running for perfect. She's running against Trump. We have two choices. And so there are some things you might not know her answer to. And in 2024, unlike 2016 for a lot of the American people, we know exactly what Trump will do, who he is, and the kind of threat he is to democracy.
I don't know.
So it's unclear to me how there could be an informed.
Folks, the media could clear this up today. The media could clear all of this up today. They could start in unison demanding an interview from Kamala Harris, and they could start asking really painful questions. What are you going to do about the border crisis, given that Joe Biden put you in charge as the borders are? We have the actual video of him doing it. What are you going to do about the known threat to Donald Trump from the Iranians, an Iranian regime that tried to connect with you? What are you going to do about the FBI's abuses of power against Moms for Liberty, against school board parents? They could start asking these questions tomorrow. And it would be well understood that although Republicans may not be the solution to your problems, if the media would ask one freaking hard-hitting question, they would understand quite quickly that the cause of everybody's problems right now is Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Folks, if we lose this election, we are in real trouble. I told you, we have a government committed to weaponizing its assets right now to target you. We can't say that happened pre-Barack Obama, happened to the extent it's happening now. We've always had an overreaching government, bureaucrats that get power hungry. I'm talking about a concerted government-wide effort to weaponize everything from the FTC to the SEC to the IRS to the FBI to the DOJ. If this is allowed to entrench itself over the next 4 to 8 years under a Harris regime with AI, facial recognition, retinal scanning, the ability to accumulate data on a mass scale now, there is zero chance you're going to keep your guns or get an honest election anytime in the near future. They're planning to steal this thing right now, coming up because they are worried. The new poll numbers for Kamala Harris are devastating. I'm gonna get into it a little more tomorrow in detail, but I'm just going to tell you this. Her collapse amongst minority voters, Hispanic and black voters, especially black men, is absolutely cratering. I need you to understand there is no math, simple arithmetic, mathematics. There is no math for her to win with these current numbers. You know what I'm going to say. Get out and execute. That's it. I'm just saying she is in real trouble. Don't think it's an accident that this morning, all of a sudden, the Harris campaign came out and said, what? Did you guys see it? Oh, now she's interested in potentially doing an interview with 60 Minutes. Oh, she is. She's been hiding and it's not working. People are starting to figure out she's down 11 points with Hispanic voters where she was just a few weeks ago in Arizona. There's no math for her to win if she loses Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, none. So now they're trying to steal it. I want you to watch this clip here. This is Democrat super lawyer Mark Elias. You are never going to meet a guy more committed to destroying voter integrity measures than this guy. Anything that involves integrity at the election booth, voter ID, election observers, poll watchers, have people show up rather than drop them off in mailboxes that look like ballot boxes. I mean, give me a break. This guy is against it. I want you to listen to him here telegraphing what they're getting ready to do if you dare even go out and attempt to be a poll watcher or anything like that. Pay very close attention, folks. These people are preparing for some serious shenanigans. Check this out.
Here's the thing. The secretaries of state do have steeled backbones. The lawyers have steeled backbones. The Democratic Party has steeled backbones. We are not going to surrender our country to the threats and intimidation of Donald Trump and his supporters. We are not going to let the mobs that formed January 6th, but which were present before January 6th in places like Detroit and in Philadelphia, trying to intimidate election officials in Georgia and in Arizona. We're not going to let them affect the outcome of this election.
Folks, he's making all of this up. I want you to understand the faux examples he's citing. These fake, phony examples are not examples of actual voter intimidation. What they were examples of were Republicans, MAGA supporters, and it could have been moderate Democrats for all we know, who were just interested in observing the electoral process. The only people who don't want people showing up with voter ID, the only people who don't want people observing elections independently and watching the ballot counting are people who want to cheat. The only people who object to the SAVE Act, which would prevent illegals from registering to vote, are people who want illegals to vote. Now, I told you before, and I had this conversation. I didn't do a weekend update because there's way too much going on. I'm sorry. We're close to the election, and I didn't do much this weekend anyway. But I was at a birthday party, and obviously there's some adults there I was chatting with. They bring the kids, and we're talking. And someone asked me about the voter, the threat to elections. I said, listen, voter fraud from an expert, a guy I really trust, I've told you this before, is about 1, maybe 2% max, which is a lot. That's a huge amount. If we run ahead of the polls like we did in 2016 and 2020, we can win this thing. I'm not telling you it's going to be fair. I'm not telling you it's going to be free. I'm not telling you don't execute. I'm just saying we're still in good shape. And then afterwards, if we can hold the House and take the Senate, we are going to have a unique opportunity to pass some serious voter reforms and clean this thing up. We've got a pretty hapless Republican Party in the House, as you've seen by the CR getting ready to pass, which is total bullshit. I don't even know what to tell you. I keep saying it. Most Republicans on Capitol Hill are really Democrats. We're spending ourselves into an abyss right now. However, again, we lose to the Democrats. You'll never have another election again. Everything will be by selection, not election. Folks, I said to you last week, I did a segment that was super important. And if you missed it on Thursday or Friday's show, I encourage you to strongly go back and look at it. I think it was Friday's show. If you are a gun owner, if you are interested in civil liberties at all, because I don't want to, if you're not a gun owner, this segment's, no, this segment is for you. The gun is the symbol of individual personal protection. Anything individual, capitalism, freedom, guns, personal protection, Democrats hate because they want you to rely on the state. They don't care about guns. They all use guns for their own bodyguards. Trust me, they don't care about the guns. They want to take your guns because they want to make you dependent on the state. The gun is secondary to their collectivist goals. If we lose this election and Kamala Harris, who is already on video saying that she wants to come into people's houses to check on their guns and make sure they're complying or whatever, I played the video for you last week. If we lose this election, we are in real trouble. She has already come out for a mandatory gun buyback program. That is not a buyback program. That is a focus group tested word. They are going to give you money and demand you give them their guns. And you're probably never going to get the money either. This is a gun confiscation program she is already on the record supporting. Here's a CNN panel running interference for her exactly on this. This combined with AI and the ATF rewording some of its gun dealer language, folks, we're in real trouble. Check this out.
Having Kamala Harris say, if you break into my house, you're getting shot, is different than what you typically hear from Democrats, right? Like, you think Democrats are coming for all your guns, we're coming to take all of them, and here you have a candidate saying, here's what I will do if you come into my home. And I do think that is different.
But I don't think people believe that, a couple minutes ago is that she said, I'm taking all your guns away 1,000 days ago, 1,200 days ago.
No, she never said she was taking all your guns away.
Mandatory gun buybacks. Buyback. Yes, she did. Yeah. She said that 1,200 days ago, and now she's this proud gun owner.
Mandatory gun buyback. She was not. It was not all your guns.
But not all of your guns. But not all your guns. Just the ones that are 15.
I mean,
folks, I'm just asking you to, especially the people who are skeptical. I get it, my P1s. You guys trust me. I trust you. We were the #1 live stream in the world last week, 4 out of 5 days. So I deeply appreciate the trust you placed in me. However, to the skeptics out there, I've got to talk to you too. I get it, you're skeptical. Oh, Dan, Kamala Harris really isn't coming for our guns. That's just election year talking. Really? Why did the Biden administration, why did they push forth a regulation that is going to change the definition of who a gun dealer is to basically anyone who sells a gun for a profit? Why would they do that? Does anybody know? Folks in the chat, tell me. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You know exactly why. Because if you are an FFL, a federal firearms licensee who has a federal license to sell firearms, they know everything about you, and there's a paper trail. There is no gun show loophole. Do you understand? If you as a private person wants to give your gun to your kid and he's not a prohibited possessor, whatever it is, you're getting old, you have some extra ones, he's got a farm, he needs some protection, whatever it is, you can do that. You don't need to fill out 62,000 pieces of paperwork to give to the government. If you are an FFL, you do. The Biden team is actively trying to recategorize anyone who transfers a firearm to anyone else as an FFL. Why? So if they show up at your house looking for your guns because they did an AI search cross-referencing gun owners, paperwork, MAGA donations, rally attendance, this is all going to go down. They are going to get a list of gun owners and they're going to come to your house. You now have a viable excuse. You may have given the gun away legitimately. Hey, I gave the gun away. I don't really have any more. So they have nothing on you. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. You are going to be reclassified as a gun dealer. This is not an accident. Listen to me. The Democrats don't do anything by accident. They're going to come knocking on your door and say, who'd you give the gun to? Oh, well, did you sell it? Well, is there a transaction? How come we don't see it? We don't see it on your checking account? We did an AI search and we didn't see any transaction going on there. And you're going to get locked up. And they're only going to do it when you're a threat to them. A Moms for Liberty activist, pro-life activist, you show up at a school board meeting. They're not going to go after everyone. They don't have the assets, folks. They don't have the assets. There's no chance. And your local sheriff's probably going to give them the middle finger. They are only going to go after the people they consider a threat. Meaning, anytime you gather a Twitter following and start causing them trouble, they're going to be knocking on your door. We are running out of time. This is why she won't interview, by the way, Kamala Harris. And this is why she definitely won't interview with someone like, a Fox News or a Newsmax host. There's no chance. Trump and J.D. Vance will go anywhere. J.D. Vance talks to everyone, not them, because they know they're going to have to answer these questions about their gun grabbing, and it's going to turn off a lot of voters. Folks, we are in real trouble in this election. I'm going to get to one final story today that really matters. This Sean Combs story, I'm not calling this guy P. Diddy. I'm sorry. It's a stupid nickname, and I'm not doing it. The Sean Combs story is turning into a bigger deal. I want to give you a little inside info, some videos out there of what his arrest looked like. TMZ got it. And there's also a pretty damning clip from him on Conan O'Brien. Folks, there's a lot of people engaged in really suspicious behavior. Now, I am not surprised at all that the entertainment community was involved in what appears to be some pretty grotesque behavior, if you believe these allegations. What I want to know, and why I think this story is a big deal in this political cycle, is how many people with a political bent, either in politics or big donors, knew about what was happening. I just want to, before we get to that, just please, one last time, for the journalists out there, please get your pens out and start doing your homework. I told you, outside of Susan Crabtree, Wegman, Waters, and the typical folks, Julie Kelly and Darren Beattie, the Secret Service story is a huge deal. You don't see too many people talking about it. Please focus on this infiltration of the comms network. Start asking questions today. They will hide it, and they're too busy covering their own asses. Please. I'm asking you as a friend. This is real trouble. This is an ongoing insider threat, and someone else is going to die. You failed to listen to my first warning, like the Dan Arkins at NBC, who still hasn't apologized, calling me a conspiracy theorist for talking about the security lapses. Then I gave you another warning. I'm giving you a third one now. If you don't stay on these people, they're going to put this thing into the phantom zone, and you're never going to hear about it again until someone else turns up dead. Let me get to this Combs story quick, because this is a big deal. Folks, a lot of people knew this guy. If you lived in New York during the rap era like I did, a lot of people knew this guy. This was not just a rap producer and a performer himself. This was a guy who was deeply connected to a ton of people. Throw this up on VO. TMZ got a hold of, I guess, the hotel security camera. There's Combs walking into the lobby. You see a couple federal agents come out. He gives up, appears pretty peacefully here. Obviously, they walk him off. Doesn't appear to be much of a conflict. Now, I don't think he realized he was looking at the last moments of his freedom here. They walk him out. There he is right there in a trench coat. Now, the reason I bring all this stuff up and I show you this video is, listen, this is a guy, as you can tell from the high-end hotel he's in. This is a guy used to having his ass kissed, used to eating, the highest of high-end foods. This is a guy worth a lot of money. He's probably got servants around the house. This is not a guy who is, and no, here's the worst part. This is a guy who is not really a rich young man. This is a guy who came from, a lower middle class background. So this is a guy who, when you once didn't have a lot of money and now you have a lot of money, it transforms. You never want to go back. He is in a facility right now I have been to many times, which is I don't even know how to describe it. It's a shithole. It is a total dump. He's probably got gastrointestinal distress from the absolutely horrendous food. He's probably eating a freaking loaf right now. Look it up. It's disgusting. The conditions are gross. You can't sleep. This guy's sleeping on some super foo-foo high-end mattress, now sleeping on some like 1-inch thing with a spring like jamming into his lower spine. He is not used to this anymore. He does not want to go back. I bring this up because it's only a matter of time, I believe, before this guy flips. What they're going to arrange with this guy is a proffer session. Proffer session, you go in with your lawyer. There's typically an FBI agent or whatever federal agency is investigating you, and there's a United States attorney in there. In the proffer session, anything you say typically will not be used against you unless you lie. This is where they give up the meat and potatoes. They give up everything in a proffer. We used to jokingly call it a king for a day deal, okay? I have zero doubt this guy's getting ready to flip. Honestly, if he hasn't already, we wouldn't even know. Do you have any idea how many people in the entertainment and political space are probably implicated in this? People knew. How do I know people knew? Because Combs used to talk about openly these freaky deaky do parties. Here's a clip from him on Conan O'Brien talking about like going out, getting the ladies and like locking the door and stuff. None of this stuff was a mystery. How many other people knew about this? Check this out.
Okay. Now, we need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right. Just
Plurals.
different blend. You need the ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. no, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're going to leave.
Right.
Got to keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but
yeah.
Rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat. You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Depends. Oh, people start getting it gets kind of sexy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you sexy. New word for you.
Yeah.
Folks, you got to watch this whole interview, man. This guy openly talked about this stuff. Now you've got a bunch of entertainers in the entertainment community who've been suspiciously politically active, who all of a sudden are mass deleting tweets. Why would they be doing that? This stuff is all archived. How many people are roped into this? How many people right now are being approached by feds? Are they making stuff go away?